Greetings. Happy Sunday and welcome to the Osha Cerese Show. I am your host, Osha Cerese, and this is your daily reset. It's supposed to be your midday reset, but this month we winging it. This is your daily dose of real talk, healing, and intentional growth. This is where coaching meets culture, where headlines meet healing, and where we transmute gossip into growth. I am again Osha Cerese. I'm a certified life coach, and we're talking all things self love, healing, self discovery, intentional dating, the trending topics, the latest celebrity, whatever, and we're bringing out the lessons for what's going on in the headlines. Because we don't want to just consume what's going on the internet as we're scrolling all day and we're seeing these blogs and we're hearing all this tea. Let's learn something from it because these are regular people just like us, and we can take some of the things that they go through and apply them to our lives. So, that's what we're doing here. I want to make sure that you are subscribed so that you can catch this show live every day. I have committed to showing up every day in the month of February. As you can see, it's right before midnight. I made my goal to be here every day. This is the ninth episode. The weekends are a little laid back because it's really a weekday show, but because I have committed to show up every day, I'm here. I'm live and I'm connecting with y'all. I'm here live on Instagram as well as YouTube. So I just want you to know that this show is going to be exclusively on YouTube. So you got to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. I got to make sure I remember that the camera is right here. You got to make sure you're subscribed to the channel and your notifications are on, because at this point, you never know when I might pop up. I might not just pop up at a set time right now. Eventually it will be a set time, but right now you got to catch me when you catch me. And if you have your notifications on, you won't miss out. So again, this is Black History Month. So happy Black History Month. I want y'all to know that we are going to be spotlighting some Black history in just a moment. But I've been sharing with you all that I've been on a raw vegan and juice fast for the first part of February. It was supposed to be a week, but it's day 9, still going. So this is the juice of the day. You see it. It's so beautiful and refreshing. This is watermelon, strawberries, lime, basil, and mint, and ginger, I believe. Did I put ginger in this? I made this the other night, maybe last night. I don't remember. I've been juicing so much, I don't remember when I made what. But I believe this is watermelon, strawberries, basil, mint. And I'll taste to see if there's some ginger in there. But cheers to great health, abundance, life, and happiness, and joy, and peace, and all the things. That's so good. Mm, 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 mm. No ginger. That is so good. Watermelon, strawberry, basil, mint, lime. Mm, 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 mm. And it's cold. Amazing. So, again, this is Sunday. It's late. I just wanted to pop in to connect with y'all. Those who are watching live, I appreciate y'all for being up late with me, spending some time with me. For those that are going to watch the playback, hey. Again, make sure you are subscribed. If you're on Instagram, the link is in my bio to subscribe to my channel. It's youtube.com/at Osha Cerese, OSHACERESE. Make sure you are not only subscribed, but that your notifications are on so you can see me live when I pop up. So I like this interaction live. Um, and as the show grows, you're going to want to be here live. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. And happy Black History Month. We're celebrating Black History Month, and we're also celebrating the fact that Valentine's Day is coming up on the 14th. That's 4 days away officially now because it's the 10th. And we have Black Love Day coming up on the 13th. Black Love Day is an actual holiday. February 13th. So I've been celebrating Black history by spotlighting some people in our culture. Specifically wanted to highlight Black love, but I wanted to just, since this week was, or last Sunday was the Grammys, I wanted to spotlight the fact that Beyonce, she became the first Black woman to win the Best Country Album Award for her record Cowboy Carter. She's getting ready to go on another tour, Act 2, the Cowboy Carter. I didn't see the Renaissance tour live. I saw the film, and she cold. Even if you're not a member of the Beehive, which I'm not necessarily a member of the Beehive, but I love, Beyonce's music, and I can recognize real. And she works real hard. And she cold when it comes to production, when it comes to discipline, when it comes to talent. She really did that. So I'm sure Cowboy Carter, the tour, is going to be amazing as well. Not only did she win, not only was she the first Black woman to win the Best Country Album Award, she also, won Album of the Year, and is the first Black woman to win that since Lauryn Hill in the 90s. So that's deep. It's been 26 years since a Black woman won that award. So kudos to her. I wanted to also shine light on a little girl, young lady, I should say. Her mother wrote something on Threads. Let me see if I can get it. And I wanted to read what she wrote. Let's see. So her mother wrote, this is just Ike and the Tribe on Threads. She says, recently my daughter wrote a piece about the Grammy Awards and aimed to submit it to her school newsletter. She approached the school staff member in charge, who was a woman. You can't say everything on the internet, so I have to use my words wisely. Only to find her work subjected to peer review from 7 students, 7 males and 2 females, without one perspective. These reviews include remarks in particularly from the males. Bro is not a part of the team. Don't capitalize Black, and Chat GPT. So the name of the article that she submitted is called For Us By Us Until It Makes Them Uncomfortable, written by Canada Smith. And I'm going to read it and share some of the feedback that she received. It says, as a 17-year-old Black girl born in 2007, much of my life has been shaped by social media and the recent rise of cancel culture. I've witnessed Black women discover their worth only to lose themselves in society's unrealistic standards and the unwarranted opinions of both those who misappropriate us and those who do not. This year at the 2025 Grammy Awards, I saw Black history being made more than once by both Black women and men who dared to be innovative, fierce, and authentically themselves. In addition, I saw countless acts of support from artists in attendance that night. While I was captivated by Doshi's show-stopping performance and Chappelle Rowan's emotional speech, I never imagined that by the next morning, the internet would erupt in an uproar about Black women and our deservingness compared to our white counterparts. Let me take a sip. On Grammy night, as the world now knows, Beyoncé Giselle Knowles-Carter made history by winning both Album of the Year and becoming the first Black woman to win Country Album of the Year for her latest release, Cowboy Carter. She faced stiff competition in both categories, yet still managed to claim victory in both. However, by the time I checked social media the next morning, I was taken aback by the flood of vile, demoralizing, and racist comments filling my TikTok For You page. Let's be clear, whether you're Black or white, everyone loves Beyonce. She's never been an artist confined to a single demographic, but the internet didn't seem to agree. She was called a liar, a thief, and even untalented. A significant portion of Billie Eilish fan base argued that Beyonce didn't deserve the Grammys she earned. They compared Cowboy Carter to Hit Me Hard and Soft, claiming nobody had ever heard of Beyonce's latest album, though I'm sure her upcoming tour and over 1 billion streams for the album would disagree. More specifically, a large number of white teenage girls joined the conversation on TikTok, accusing Beyonce of buying her Grammy win, claiming she left Billie Eilish in tears at the award ceremony. That said, many overlook the fact that Billie Eilish has long been a vocal supporter of Black success and Black artistry, both in and out of the music industry. Additional comparisons were made between Beyonce and white country artists with claims that she was incapable of making a true country album. After conducting my own research, I gathered a few important facts. Country music is built on key instruments, particularly the banjo, which originates from West African cultures and was brought to America by enslaved Africans. The earliest known country songs began as slave hymns and Negro spirituals. Therefore, when criticizing a Black female artist for an alleged lack of knowledge in the genre, it is essential to recognize that country music is a Black music genre and has only taken a different form due to its altercations or alterations made by Eurocentric influences over time. I write this piece to acknowledge that even at the start of Black History Month, Black women are still defending ourselves for things we shouldn't have to. The last woman to win Album of the Year was Lauryn Hill in 1999. It's been over 20 years, and for Beyonce, who has been in this industry far longer, it's taken her extremely too long to receive any form of proper acknowledgement. Meanwhile, Billie Eilish, who's been in the industry for a mere 10 years, has received far more recognition than Beyonce ever has. Some will say that this is inaccurate, giving Beyonce's 35 Grammys to Billie's 9. But this isn't a numbers conversation. It's a discussion of representation and reparations. I want to make one thing clear: Billie Eilish's talent is undeniable. But we live in a world that sees white talent and recognizes it immediately. For Black people, especially Black women, our talent, despite how hard we tear it on our, or wear it on our sleeves, is often overlooked, as it has been for centuries. People will sing our music, wear our clothes, buy our concert tickets, all while misappropriating our culture, only to turn around and tell us we didn't deserve what we worked tirelessly for. And so, I can't help but wonder, is there any industry that truly holds space for the voices of Black women? Or are we just expected to settle for mediocrity and remain humbly submissive to our white counterparts forever? Canada Smith, class of 2025, aka Canada the Great. I want y'all to see how small this writing is so y'all won't think I just can't read. Hold on. Is it showing? No. You can't see it? Oh, there it is. Very small. So, again, I feel like I just wanted to read that because it's a young Black lady, young Black girl in high school, 17 or 18 years old, because she graduates this year. And I feel like her piece was beautifully written. There is some opinion in there as far as like everybody loves Beyonce and, a few other things, but she did bring in facts. It was, very well written. And she got a lot of criticism. She was accused of using ChatGPT for the words and just really overly criticized for her work. So this is what she ended up submitting after she submitted this newsletter for the school paper and got dragged, basically. She said, after careful consideration, I have decided not to publish my article with, this is blanked, with blank. When I originally wrote the piece, I knew exactly what my intentions were and the message I wanted to share with blank community. After reading the student feedback, my original doubts and frustrations have been confirmed, and I would rather have my work acknowledged within a safer place or safer space. This isn't to say that all of the student feedback was negative or unnecessary. I truly appreciate the perspectives of blank offered on my work. However, the male editors assigned to my piece made inappropriate and unnecessary comments that I do not appreciate. As a black girl who is confident in her ability to write and share stories, both my own and others, I also understand that unfortunately ignorance runs deep within blank student body. The work I create isn't for everyone. While the inappropriate comments were untimely resolved in the document, even blank assumption that my piece was written by ChatGPT simply because of my punctuation was highly inappropriate. I am a talented writer. I wrote this piece in just over an hour, and I do not need ChatGPT to validate my work. Additionally, requesting proof of citations to back up my writing was misplaced, as I explicitly stated that my observations were based on social media discourse. The point of my article is to highlight three key issues: the pervasiveness of backlash against Black success, double standards in the music industry recognition, the overall struggle for Black women's visibility and respect. At its core, my article is asking an essential question: would I even need to write this article if Black women were truly recognized for their contributions without conditions, without being only when it's convenient for white people? While I believe blank could benefit from more voices like mine, I stand firm in my decision to revoke my article. Blank, as I mentioned earlier, I appreciate your feedback, which is always thoughtful, inquisitive, and grounded in your perspective as an English teacher. However, I believe Blank Team must have an important conversation about the ways Black writers' voices are boxed in, the way Black students are addressed in general, and how racially fueled microaggressions manifest, even when they are disguised as comments about writing. Best, Canada Smith. So, I just wanted to highlight that because, this young lady stood firm in retracting her newsletter based on these accusations and the mistreatment that pretty much kind of aligned with the topic of her conversation or her newsletter. Mm, I could really just gulp that all the way down. But speaking of the Grammys, Kendrick Lamar also won a lot of Grammys last week. He won Record of the Year for Not Like Us, Song of the Year for Not Like Us, Best Rap Song for Not Like Us, Best Rap Album for GNX, and Best Music Video for Not Like Us. And Kendrick Lamar has had quite quite the past several months. He has been beefing with Drake, and it's just turned into a massacre. It's just turned into, I don't even know what to call it, but him and Drake been going back and forth for several months, really for several years. Kendrick, I watched something on TikTok yesterday, like referencing the timeline of this beef, and so Drake and Kendrick have had some tension between the two of them for over 10 years, but it's never been really addressed by Drake. I think he might have said something in I don't know. I don't think he addressed it. Like Kendrick said something about him in a BET cipher back in like 2015 or something. And he really just don't like Drake because Drake is low key a culture vulture. Even though he has a black father, he wasn't raised in the hood. He was raised in a pretty nice neighborhood in Canada. He was raised Jewish. He had a bar mitzvah. He, had a pretty nice, decent life, and then he was an actor. But he kind of throws people off talking about started from the bottom, now we're here. So basically, Kendrick doesn't really like how he comes in trying to cosplay a thug or gangster, like he's about that life or grew up in the hood or, had an experience that Kendrick actually really had growing up in the hood. So there's been tension there. The beef was kicked off. I don't know who. I heard it was J. Cole that labeled Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick Lamar as the big three. But then when Future dropped his song Like That, produced by Metro Boomin, and had Kendrick on it, and he said, "Mother, the big three, nigga, it's just big meat," and then it just kicked off the back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Drake dropped something, then Kendrick dropped something, and Drake dropped something, and Kendrick dropped two things, and so all of that ended up with Not Like Us, and that pretty much shut it down. And so Kendrick just performed at the Super Bowl. He got this big opportunity because he's having a great year. Kendrick is a great artist. I really wasn't I really haven't been like checking for Kendrick Lamar's music as far as like getting his into his albums since the beginning of his career. The first album that really got me was the Damn album that had Humble on it. I really love that album. So that was probably the first time that I really got into his music outside of his singles. But he's a great artist. He definitely represents Compton, represents West Coast sound, and he's been very consistent since all of this has been going on. Um, he's, everybody has their run, um, and he's on it. He's milking it, and so, you know, there's been so many famous rap beefs over time. Some that stick out for me is like Ice Cube versus NWA when he dropped that No Vaseline. That was crazy. Tupac versus Biggie versus Bad Boys as an establishment versus the East Coast versus everybody. When he dropped Hit 'Em Up, that's been like one of the biggest diss tracks that can't compare to any other song. Like just him talking on the record, he was going off. He talks just talking bad about folks. Anybody could get it on that song. Nas versus Jay-Z. Nas with that Ether. Jay-Z, people call him the greatest rapper alive, but Nas got him with that one, and that kind of shut him down. Even Drake and Pusha T been battling. Pusha T kind of, I don't know, he kind of won that too. Drake and Meek Mill. Drake clown Meek Mill with his song Back to Back, I think it's called. People played that so much, and you would think that Drake would be able to kind of handle the beef that he's in now, as far as it being Kendrick kind of like on top, because he was once there too. So it happens. You win some, you lose some, but you win. You live to fight another day. So Remy Ma, Nicki Minaj, that one sticks out to me too, because I low key feel like ever since Remy Ma dropped that Sheether, I kind of feel like Nicki Minaj's career never really bounced back from that. Like of course, she's a successful rapper, and she's had successful tours, successful albums. People love Nicki Minaj. She got the barbs. But something happened with her image, I feel like, ever since Remy Ma dropped that Sheether. It didn't really hinder her success, but it kind of had people looking at her a little different. Nicki Minaj versus Megan Thee Stallion. Megan kind of got on her, and then like when Nicki Minaj is going so low talking about people's moms that, her mother that passed away, like I feel like that's where you don't go. I know people say ain't no rules when you going back and forth with people, but I just felt like that was distasteful. This is tasteful. And so Kendrick Lamar versus Drake, that has just been, the biggest rap battle that we've seen in a long time. And one thing that Drake did that we haven't seen any rappers do, at least I haven't, he's suing the record label for, I guess he's saying that they put money and resources behind Not Like Us to make it big, to make it stream. I think it's streamed like the highest on Spotify within a certain amount of time. It made the charts within a certain amount of time. So I have never seen a rapper in a rap battle bring a lawsuit into it. So everybody was trying to figure out if Kendrick was going to sing or perform Not Like Us at the Super Bowl. I felt like I was thinking that song is just too raw for him to do at the Super Bowl. So I was thinking that he was probably going to tease it, like, maybe drop at the very end, drop a little bit of the beat and let the crowd rap the lyrics. But, I watched the Super Bowl. The halftime show. I wasn't studying the Super Bowl. The halftime show, I watched it. He performed some of his other hits. I love the fact that he brought in, like, these were the words that he said. I gotta quote him verbatim. He said, "The revolution about to be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy." So I already knew he was about to do something revolutionary, something, blackety black. So we see Samuel L. Jackson coming out, moderating the whole performance. You got to just really pay attention to the words that he's saying. He's being Uncle Sam, and he starts talking about, oh yeah, that's too ghetto. I just want y'all to go back and watch it and just really listen to the point that they're trying to make. You see his dancers all in red, white, and blue, but these is black folks with locks and braids and do-rags on, and they're forming the American flag. They got this black man standing in the middle of it. It was blackety black. It was blackety black. And then SZA comes out. She performs Luther with him. Right before they perform Luther, he teases with Not Like Us, and he's like, I know they want me to play their favorite song, but he said, let me think about it. And then he teases at it a little bit, and he's like, they like to sue. And so I'm thinking that I really thought that was all he was gonna do. I'm like, okay, he just gave us a little sprinkle. He ain't gonna go all the way. He ain't gonna do it. And so instead of dropping that song, they played Luther. SZA comes out. They perform that together. Then they perform All the Stars. I think that's from the Black Panther soundtrack. And then shortly after that, he dropped that Not Like Us. And then you see Serena Williams out there crip walking. And if you didn't know, Serena Williams, I don't know if she was technically Drake's ex. I guess she was Drake's ex, or Drake is her ex. And I think he made some comments. Somebody said that he had been stalking her on the internet, harassing her. But then he also made some comments like towards her getting married to the other guy. And whatever he did to her that makes her want to pop out and show on the biggest stage in the world, the Super Bowl, that all these eyes on them, she's crip walking to the diss song of her ex. And then she's mentioned in the song, because Kendrick say, you better not speak, what do you say? Nigga better not speak on Serena. Serena's from Compton. It was just like, dang, I don't know. Someone posted a clip of Drake in Australia performing, and he has a sold out concert, and it's popping, and they're like, oh yeah, he's unbothered, but that's a big deal. I've never seen that in all the diss records that I've heard, for them to be played on the biggest stage. I don't know. What y'all thought about what did y'all think about the Super Bowl halftime performance? What did you get from it? To perform that, to have I think Serena is still the highest paid athlete, or one of the most highest paid athletes, which is Drake's ex, sea walking to this song that is dissing Drake and calling him a pedo, and the whole stadium yelling out A minor. That's a lot. Y'all basically just jumped that man. But Drake is still a great artist. He can still come out and make some great music. I think I saw that he's getting ready to come out with a song with Party Next Door soon. I like the vibe. It sound good. You know, come with the sexy music. Come back with the sexy music, Drake, with the women's anthems. And let's just stay in that lane. Let's just stay right there. All the mob ties, gangster stuff, putting hits on people, and all of the type of talk you be doing. Like, just leave it for the real gangsters, and let's just get back to the vibes. That's how I feel about that. Great performance. Again, if you thought that it was boring, I believe that the Super Bowl, not I believe, you know, the Super Bowl has certain rules that they have to follow. They have to be strategic to make sure that they don't overstep certain things, especially us, because Jay-Z's in charge of getting the talent. We already on thin ice. Janet Jackson, that fiasco that happened back in the day, it's been we've been on thin ice ever since when it comes to the Super Bowl performances. So when you really look back at the Super Bowl performances, we know that these are great artists who are great performers, but it's something about the energy there that is it doesn't always give. Like they could be great performances, but it might seem boring, but I think it's because they have all these rules that they have to follow. But forget it being boring. Like, listen to the words that they're saying, listen to the lyrics, listen to what Samuel L. Jackson is saying. But I'm just thinking back to some of the most recent Super Bowl halftime performances. Last year with Usher, we've seen Usher performing his residency in Vegas and going on tour, and the energy is super high and all of that. But like at the Super Bowl, it was good, but it was just like something about that energy. I don't know if it's so many people in the stadium that they're pulling on the energy that it just seems like it's not giving. But you know that these are great performers, but it's just something. Even with Rihanna's performance, everybody was like, "Oh, this was like one of the greatest performances." To me, it wasn't, but it was dope. I love seeing it. I love seeing the visual. I love seeing her up there. She pregnant. She doing her thing. But I don't know. It's something about, maybe it's because they're out there performing and the crowd is all the way in the stands. I think that's what it is. Because I just saw a clip of Michael Jackson performing at the Super Bowl. Chills, because you know he the GOAT anyway of performing. But the reason why I think that it was that much bigger and you could feel the energy in that is because the crowd was directly around him, around the stage. So you're feeling the energy and the excitement of what he was bringing as if you're there. But when the Super Bowl now, how it's filmed, there is no crowd around the stage. The whole field is for the performance, and it's just people out there with all this space and cameras. So I've solved it. I just solved it in real time. That's what it is. It's the people, the audience, that brings the real energy to the performance. Somebody who performs, let me know if I'm on point. Somebody who's a performer, somebody who does energy work, let me know if I'm on point with that, because I feel like that's the only difference. It's juice. It's a hit. So that's all I wanted to say about that. I think that it was an amazing performance, but I think that the Super Bowl halftime performances lack that energy because the crowd is in the stands and not right by the artist. So congratulations to Kendrick. He's having a great year. Getting ready to go on tour with SZA. And you know, I'm proud that they were able to keep their rap beef. I hope that it continues to stay rap, hip hop, not violent, not outside of bars in the studio. Like, just keep it hip hop. So far so good. Um I also wanted to gripe a little bit. Right before I got on here, I was doing my TikTok and YouTube reviews that I'm doing for Harlem. Harlem is a series on Prime Video starring Megan Good, Tyler Lepley. We got Grace Byers, Shaniqua Shonday, Jerry Johnson, Whoopi Goldberg is in it. And it is an amazing show. It's like, if I had to compare it to anything, I would say it's like Sex and the City meets Insecure. Because you have four friends. They all have their storylines. It's about their lives, their career paths, their goals, their relationships, their friendships with each other, sisterhood, family dynamics, all of the things. They talk about health issues, financial issues, being an entrepreneur, and just all of the things that we go through. And then it's like, so relatable because it's about Black millennials. I'm a Black millennial woman, so I love shows about Black millennial women. And they just had their final season, season 3. And so I'm recapping all the episodes of season 3 because I'm like, okay, I've been watching the show. It kind of took a hiatus, maybe like 2 years or so. And each of the other seasons, I think, had 8 episodes. So I had decided to review and kind of pull some lessons and things from this season. And I was noticing that they were dropping the episodes pretty quickly. Like they were dropping 2 episodes at a time. So I'm like, okay, it's happening fast. I was thinking maybe we could get 10 episodes since it's the final season, but definitely 8 because all the other seasons had 8. How about I'm watching last week, taking my notes because I do my reviews, which I'm about to finish doing when I get off of here. And after episode 6, that was it. And I just felt so cheated that these people rushed this season like that. And it's still a beautiful story, but I just feel like if they would have had a little bit more time, they would have been able to share so much more of these people's stories. And it just kind of irritated me because there are so many amazing series that are centering Black people and Black stories that get prematurely canceled or they don't get renewed. And it's messed up because I love me some Power. I love me some Snowfall and those type of shows. But think about what the shows are about: violence, crime, drugs, abuse, poverty, all of these things. Just they get renewed. But then when you center stories around Black love, around healing, around growth, around everyday things, everyday stories that Black women and Black men face, they don't get renewed. Like Rap Shit by Issa Rae, she didn't get a renewal. And I'm like, we got 2 seasons. They managed to make it through the writer's strike, the actor's strike. So they didn't get to promote it as much, but people really fucked with Rap Shit. I know I did. And if you go on Twitter, a lot of people did. They didn't get renewed. And it's like, are we going to get a movie? Can another platform pick it up? Because these stories are just left unfinished. So we just have to leave it to our imagination. Just like Girlfriends. I want a Girlfriends movie. Just like we got Sex and the City movie. Please give us a Girlfriends movie while all of the actors are still alive and well. We need that. We need the budget given to Mara Brock. I think her name is, the creator. She said she would do it if she got the right budget. Give her the budget so we can get the film. The one show, let me see what this lady's name is because I do not want to mess it up. I just watched this show probably a couple months ago, How to Die Alone, starring Natasha Rothwell. She played Kelly on Insecure. Just found out she's not getting renewed for a second season. So we get all involved and into these stories and want to see how they play out. And then they be like, nope, we're not renewing it. So Harlem, I just felt like the 3rd and final season was very much rushed. It was just so rushed. I just didn't even know that it was the last episode I was watching. I'm like, okay, I got this. And then next week we wrapping it up. It was wrapped up. And it's messed up because the potential that they had with the storylines. I keep saying it, but man, I guess I got to get over it. But that's just what it is. But anyway, y'all, again, this is Sunday. This is going to be one of those go with the flow shows. I just have a few things in my notes that I wanted to touch on, and that was the Super Bowl, the black shows, and I'm just over it. But anyway, that's why we have to create our own content too and just do it. The stories that we want to see, that's what I'm gonna do. Instead of me complaining about it, I'm just gonna have to be involved in creating the stories that I want to see. I'm not a filmmaker or anything, but I am a creative. I do create content. I am a creative director, and I have actor friends, actor family members. My mother, my cousin, they're both pursuing acting. It might be time to just create some of our own stories so we can see them through. But I just wanted to remind you all, since this is technically a Sunday show, but it is in real life it's Monday. Just to remind you to find time to organize your week ahead of time as much as you can. Like on Sundays, if you can just create a to-do list and get some things written on your calendar so that you can not feel so overwhelmed. Because today I actually was supposed to go to an event with my friend today, and I did have a lot of things to do. Some of the things I had in my schedule to do yesterday, but due to just time right now, I had to do a whole bunch of tasks around the house, and then I had to juice and cook, not cook, but I'm doing raw, but prepare food. And I got a phone call from my best friend yesterday, so we caught up, and just things happened. So I didn't get to do everything on my list yesterday. So some of the things, were still lingering today. And I was supposed to go to an event with my friend today, and the event got canceled, but we were still trying to talk about getting together so we can go somewhere and watch the Super Bowl halftime and all that. But I just had so much going on and so much on my plate. I was feeling a little overwhelmed because I'm like thinking about how these things need to be done before the week gets started, because if it doesn't get done, then I'm going to be behind all week. So I'm just saying all that to say Sunday is a good day, even Saturdays, to kind of like sit down and write down what you have to do, because it's so much less overwhelming when you have things written down on paper. When it's just in your mind and you're like, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this. And then as you go on throughout your day, you're going to be thinking of other things like, oh yeah, I got to do this. Or maybe that's just my mind. I don't know. Maybe that's just how I work. But I know for sure it's helpful just to write things down so you can make a list, check it twice, check it off as you go. It really helps with the overwhelm. And just to remind yourself that even if you don't get it done, just putting in the effort is good enough. And sometimes you just need to rest. Sometimes you just need to throw that to-do list to the side and get you some rest if that's what your body is calling you to do, or your mind, body, or spirit. And finding some time to start your day with mindfulness. I know that makes a big difference for me. When I wake up and the first thing I do is grab my phone and get on the internet, my whole day is either scrolling, distracted, unorganized, just off. But when I start my day, and I've been doing this lately, where I've set the intention to not touch my phone until I have my rising rituals or my rising routine complete. And even then, I try to do something productive before I touch my phone. So waking up, saying my prayers, spending a lot of time in prayer, like not just thank you, Lord, like literally praying, thanking God for my blessings, I literally go through everything. Thank you for my hair, skin, nails, and teeth. Thank you for my blood, bones, tendons, ligaments, joints, vessels, veins, arteries. I'm naming everything. Thank you for my limbs and my body parts being attached. Thank you for my organs and systems functioning properly. Thank you for my mind, body, and spirit. Thank you for healing me. Thank you for keeping and covering me. Thank you for my abilities to see, hear, smell, taste, touch, walk and talk, read and write, sing and dance, learn and grow, heal and evolve, love and be loved. I got a long list of prayers. And just really being in my prayer, I pray for my parents, I pray for my siblings, my niece, my nephews, my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, my loved ones. I pray for the people that I have been aligned with and the opportunities that I've been aligned with. I pray for sound mind, peace of mind, peaceful home, safe community, safe neighborhood, access to clean air and clean water, access to warmth and air conditioning, access to, food and shelter and home and groceries and transportation and car and the means to cover it. And I just pray for I've been praying for the country lately, honey. I've been praying for the world. So I really just thank God and just be in my prayers and pray for specific things and pray for support and continued guidance and protection. And I thank God for unconditional love and grace. And I just really get in my prayer bag starting the day. Then I personally honor my ancestors. I call on them and I ask them for their guidance and support and their just contributions to my life. And I honor them. I pour libations for them. I water my plants in honor of their names. I thank my spirit guides, my ancestors, my angels. I thank the people that are here on this earth that love me, support me, uplift me, and amplify me. And that just really gets my spiritual health going properly when I start my day. So after my prayer and giving thanks and honoring and pouring libations and everything, I sit down and meditate. So I'm usually a guided meditation girly because my brain and my mind is so overactive. I like a guided meditation. I like to put one on that guides me and gives me some type of affirmation or some type of visualization to focus on, some type of binary beats or music in the background. I prefer that. But lately I've been trying to work on unguided meditation and just sitting with my own thoughts and focusing on my breath. Sometimes it's decent. Sometimes I have to, remind myself to focus on that breath because my mind is going different places and ready to get active for the day. But the more you do it, that's why meditation is called a practice. I've been practicing meditation for probably close to 9, 10 years now. And my mind still goes, the way it's going to go. And that's, when you have a thought, instead of focusing on it, you just treat it like a cloud. It's passing, you acknowledge it and let it keep going, and you focus back on your breath. And then after I meditate, I journal. And I try to journal at least a page. Even if I don't have a lot to say, I'm going to make it work until I have a full page. And if I have more, I write more. And after that, if I, lately me and my mom have been taking walks together early. After I do all that, we take walks. And that's been nice because you're out in nature, you're getting to hear the birds, been surrounded by all kind of beautiful cardinals. Yesterday when I when I woke up and opened my blinds, that was the first thing that was right there, a little red bird in my tree outside of my window, a cardinal. Um, just getting to really clear your thoughts with that walk, be in nature, grounding yourself. So that's really been my my personal shift. Let me drink. Hold on. My voice is trying to tap out on me, and I got a video I need to create after this. But just making that change of the way I've personally been starting my day, because like I told y'all, I've been in hibernation mode from November to January. November, December, and January was hibernation mode for me. And I'm fully capable of admitting that I wasn't starting my days like that. And it showed. It started out with wake up, grab the phone, see what's going on into the phone. And I was battling with some depression, honestly. I was had the winter blues. Um, Daylight saving time ending kind of threw me off, being all dark and cold early. And, you know, I had to pull myself out of that because it's seasonal depression. It's just regular old depression because that's something that I personally have my ups and downs throughout the year, depending on what's going on in life. Um, and so just doing that, changing my routine from when how I wake up has changed my whole mood. And I like to remind people that oftentimes we think that we kind of operate on a I will do this when in a lot of different scenarios. Like, I will start dressing up when I get some more money, or I will clean my room when I feel better, or I will cook more when I'm in a better mood, or something like that. But if you flip that around, that's when you'll start to receive the things that you actually want. If your goal is I'll start cooking more when I'm in a better mood. That's one of my things. I wasn't cooking a lot last year because I'm like, I like to be in a certain mood when I cook, because I feel like whatever mood, whatever energy you have within you is going to go right into that food. And I make my food with love and intentions, good energy. And so I wasn't cooking as much because I wasn't in a damn mood. But then I realized that once I got in that kitchen and started creating, I got into the mood. I have my music playing, my 90s R&B or whatever mood I'm in. I'm setting the vibe. I'm going in the kitchen. I'm an alchemist in the kitchen. So I'm cooking, I'm creating, I'm moving around, and all of a sudden I'm uplifted. So sometimes you just feel like you can't do something until your mood changes, when really that's the thing you need to do in order to change your mood. Even sometimes you can get into the point where you feel like, there's clutter in your home or in your room, laundry that needs to be folded or whatever, and you're like, oh, I'll fold it when I get a little bit um, more rested, or I'll feel better when I get out of this little funk that I'm in. Then I'll get up and clean the clutter from around me, or I'll do this. Meanwhile, if you got up and cleaned the clutter, you got up and folded the clothes and put them up and refreshed your room, that is what's going to make you feel better. So the point I'm making is that sometimes you have to push through those bad moods, sad moods, low energy, in order to get the result that you're trying to get. And it's easier said than done, but just little changes can make a big difference. Huge difference. The way you start your day, sometimes just doing it. Like, if you come in your room and you get overwhelmed, or you come in your house and you get overwhelmed because there's stuff everywhere, even if you could just tidy up a few things, that's going to make you feel a lot better. Um, so that is my self-care tip of the day, and I hope that it touched and resonated someone who's listening. I hope that you receive something out of that, and I hope that you can find a routine that works better for you, that gets you into a better mood. And if you're not in the best mood and you haven't been in a while, just try it. Just try something and see what works for you, because all you need to do is put forth some effort. And if you believe in God, or if you connect with the source, the creator, the most high, whatever name you have for the source is, you'll know that having faith and making one step just of effort, God will do the rest for you. You know how they say, God helps those who help themselves. I truly believe that, you know, sometimes we feel like we can't help ourselves at all, but whatever you can do, whatever that is, once you make that step, God is going to do the rest for you. God is going to push you further. So I hope that you all received something from this conversation. I didn't know it was going to turn spiritual because I wasn't even planning on talking about any of that, but that must have been, I prayed before each show. So that must have been what God placed on my heart to share. Um, and I receive it, and I hope that it touched the right people. But thank you all for everyone who has been tuning into these live shows. Again, I hope you are subscribed to the channel, because this is where this show is going to be. And you got to subscribe, and you got to turn on your notifications. And I just want to let y'all know that if you are an intentional dater, a hopeful romantic, someone who is looking to find love in 2025. You tired of the BS, you tired of the boo-boo in the dating pool, you tired of the swiping left and right. And it's so funny because I had a crazy experience on Facebook dating. And it was so crazy that I told y'all the story about it twice this past week. I didn't even realize I had already told y'all about it. And I told you the other night. That's how crazy that story was. But if you're sick of the BS and you want to start having some intentional, curated events and opportunities to meet other singles who you're actually attracted to, who you have shared values and interests with, you need to join the Intentional Love Collective. This is a growing community and a database that I am creating and building so that I can match you all better. You know, I'm a life coach, but I'm also an event curator. I do singles events, speed dating events, and I want these events to be desirable. I want them to be something that you walk away from actually having a match, because when you show up, you're actually there with other people who match your interests. And in order for me to do that, I need this database so I can match y'all. So if I have a list of men and a list of women, and these people match that, and this person has described this exact person to a T, then I know that I can invite these people to this event, or I can match you all. If you seem like you're that perfect of a match, I may set you up on a date, a one-on-one date. So if you are interested in being involved with the Intentional Love Collective, DM me or comment Intentional Love, and I will send you over the form to complete. Again, that's Intentional Love, and I will send you the form. Also, if you need coaching, if you need support, like what I was just saying, how, my personal battle with dealing with depression and other things, I got my team. I go to therapy. I have coaches. I have support. I have my tools. I have the things that I need in order to pull myself out of those moments. But if you need some support, if you need some guidance or some accountability on your journey of healing, self-love, self-discovery, and this intentional dating journey, please feel free to book a session. We can do a one-on-one session, or you can enroll into a course. I have one single step at a time for you. That is the 6-week healing workshop. It's going to give you the childhood healing, the relationship healing, the just getting to know yourself, the self-discovery, the support on knowing what you actually want. What are your core values? What are some things that you can do to pour into yourself now? And then we'll work on what you want for the future and what you're trying to manifest. That is available to you. And then also, if you're not ready for that 6-week course and you just want a little something that you can do that takes about 5 days, or you could do it self-paced, 5 ways in 5 days. That's the self-love workshop, self-love virtual course. It is all about learning how to utilize your love languages for your daily acts of self-love and self-care. And it also shows you where you may have blockages from giving and receiving love. So that's 5 ways in 5 days. Again, it can be done in as little as 5 days, or you can take your time and do that as self-paced. The one single step at a time course comes with coaching as well. And then if you're not ready for a course or a workshop, just grab you a guided journal. How to Beat Single is available now. OshaCerese.com is where you can find all of this, the sessions, the courses, the journal. How to Beat Single is on OshaCerese.com, OshaCerese.com. Subscribe to the newsletter while you're there. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do, and turn your notifications on. And also, if you want a strategy session and you need support on your content, I'm your girl for that too. You could just call me the Dream Doula, because I support you with birthing your ideas and bringing them to life in career, love, and life. So just let me know what you need, and I got you. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Make sure you stay tuned for the rest of the week. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of things for us to unpack and talk about this upcoming week. And you enjoy yourselves and get you a good routine for this upcoming week so you will not be overwhelmed. I will see y'all later.